Hello YouTubers! Hello YouTubers, this is Doom Gloom Report number 14. This episode is going to concentrate on Sharia law, and I'm going to continue into number 15. I'm going to also talk about the recent Iran-Israel conflict pointing to the end times. Just read the book of Matthew, Daniel, Leviticus, Ezekiel, and the book of Revelation. You'll find your answers there about Russia being the kings of the north, how they've supplied Iran over the years and stuff, and how this Sharia stuff in the Middle East is connected here with YouTube and Google and all the censorship that they're playing and suppressing people, and how they suppress people, because in the book of Revelation it says he cast all, in Revelation 13 I believe it's 6, Revelation 13:6, he cast all, both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or forehead that they may not buy or sell unless he who had the mark, otherwise you'll be beheaded if you're left behind. And that certainly ties in with the principles of Islam and the Wahhabite radical sect of Islam. So I just want everybody to watch this. This is about the recent stuff that was passed in the United Kingdom, Sharia law, in the UK, basically saying that the UK is dead. Of course, a couple years ago, you remember in France too, they had the riots. The media lied to the public about that. Basically it was Muslims. They had taken over, as Michael Savage says, France. But they lied. They'll never tell you the truth in the media. It wasn't some riots. But here's what it is here. It's about the Archbishop of Canterbury. I hope you enjoy this here. So watch this very quick. See? It's official. Britain. Sharia law is approved.
England's most senior judge says it is okay to use Sharia law to resolve disputes among Muslims in that country. Sharia is a set of Islamic religious laws governing Muslim life, but Sharia law has come under fire for some of its tenets, including stoning adulterers to death in some cases. But the Daily Mail reports that Chief Justice Lord Phillips says Sharia could be used for family and marital arguments and to regulate finance. He says that there is a, quote, widespread misunderstanding as to the nature of Sharia law. But his remarks have drawn criticism. Lawyers are warning that Sharia can be disadvantageous to women.
See, folks? Signs of the end times. Just watch movies like The Happening, the message that they try to portray, about, people dying, virus causing them to commit suicide and stuff. It's all tied in with the sect in Hollywood, and the Zionists and the elites are all behind it, No reason to hide from the truth. Everybody knows the truth. Do you know George Bush today also signed a spy bill now? I'm going to read that. I'm going to have that in my Doom Gloom Report 16. Just the news keeps flowing and flowing in, folks, It's unbelievable at such a fast rate. Rumors and rumors of wars, just like the Bible said in the end times. Clearly, we are living in the end times, no matter what anybody tries to tell you otherwise. So, but I just want to read this article too. This is from the Daily Express. About UK Muslims, the majority of them rejecting Sharia in their country. 2/3 of UK Muslims do not want Sharia law, a think tank said yesterday. Muslim community leaders warned that any paralegal system would be a disaster, especially for Muslims. The Archbishop of Canterbury and Lord Chief Justice were attacked for interfering after both backed aspects of the Islamic legal system being incorporated into British law. Stephen Shorts, Executive Director of the Center for Islamic Pluralism, which carried out the research, said for non-Muslim authorities to propose the introduction of Sharia as a legal standard for Muslims in any non-Muslim land is not only absurd, patronizing, and discriminatory, but also violates the canons of traditional Sharia law. Sharia has always held that Muslims immigrating to non-Muslim lands are obligated to accept the laws and customs of their new homes. The center estimated 65% of people brusquely repudiated the imposition of Sharia in Britain. They also hit out at the Archbishop Dr. Rowan Williams, the Canterbury guy, and Lord Chief Justice Lord Phillips for interfering in Muslim affairs. In a magazine article today, Mrs. Shorts and the Center's International Director of Inclusiveness, while Lord Phillips had done far more damage. So, yeah, most people are against the 65%. Of course, they're going to be against it because, it suppresses women, and it's totally wrong, how they treat the women. They beat them, stone people to death, and that's basically what it teaches, they behead people, It's so wrong, and, basically it's all political in my opinion, And a lot of it, I believe that there's so much false religions out there too. I've been to SatansRapture.com, listened to radio shows and stuff. Yet you have the Catholic Church, the Church of Rome, Babaylon, the mother of all harlots and the abominations of the earth. I mean, they use sex, and in the end times, the antichrist too is going to be a big follower that sex is your way to heaven, because you know Islam teaches the 14 virgins and all too. This is the antichrist, you got to remember. So you got to be careful not to accept the mark of the beast at all costs. But you know, I was going to say though, the church is behind it, secularism, you know, abominations of all earth, the big sex church basically, going to teach that sex is the way to heaven and stuff, and you know, it's going to be such a violent time. That's why in movies now in Hollywood you have all kinds of killing, murders, movies like Cloverfield, movies like I Am Legend, movies like The Happening, you know, just keep coming out there, you know, The Wanted, you know, save one, kill 1,000, you know, just like Hitler did, you know, with the Jews basically years ago. The same concept, you know, Hollywood is behind a lot of this shit. And the Illuminati, secret societies, skull and burns, satanic societies, all behind it. I also wanted to say that in the book of Revelations here, I'm going to read a passage out of here. Revelation 13. Give me a second. The beast out of the sea. The beast out of the earth. Revelation 13:18. This calls for wisdom. If anyone has insight, let him calculate the number of the beast, for it's the number of man, and his number is 666. He also forced everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on his hand or forehead, so that no one might buy or sell, unless he had the mark, which is the name of the number of the beast. So if you refuse it, basically you're going to be beheaded. You're killed. That's what it says here in the Bible. So, and you know, you got to reject it at all costs. And then also Babaylon too, it talks about here, you know, in 1 hour, you know, she made desolate, you know, all riches have come to naught, you know. There's a time coming, unfortunately, I believe it's us, the United States, you know, because we depend heavily on oil and you know, independence from other foreign nations, you know, which just want to crash our economy. But I also think that the church too is behind a lot of this stuff, you know. The Catholicism, you know, especially the Catholic Church of Rome, like I've been saying, folks, and the Sharia law too is also part of it too, you know, stoning people to death and stuff. But I mean also this global warming stuff too, where they use energy, education, and the environment, saying you're basically a hazard, and then they tax everything, you know, taxation. Basically there's enemies within the state, just like Michael Savage says, the enemies within, who want to totally brain down and destroy this country at all costs, you know, so they can have a one world order led by the UN eventually, and the Sharia law and humanitarian rights, in which the beast is going to come to power once the rapture happens, which is going to be soon, the pre-tribulation rapture. So I believe all this stuff is pointing to Armageddon in the end times, and you know, this stuff is really serious, because people are going to have to make a choice between free will and going with Jesus Christ to heaven, and dying by the sword, or taking the mark of the beast and being on the opposite side, you know, going to hell and burning them for all eternity. So this is real, and it's nothing to be messed around with, and it's really true what's going on. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about the recent Israel-Iran conflict too, you know. We must support Israel. It's the only good thing that Bush has done recently, pretty much. And also, I was going to talk about a couple videos from now too, about this new device that movie theaters are going to start having. So I work at a movie theater, but I guess 3D, they have some kind of microchip device. And also I want to talk about the recent spy bill today that George Bush signed, which is totally unconstitutional. Basically they're going to try to label you a terrorist and whatnot. So hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.